What was that? What was that intro? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That was weird. What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my post weigh-in final thoughts for UFC Seattle. We have Song Yadong going against Henry Cejudo. We have a 12-fight card, a card that, it has taken a ton of hits, a ton of late notice replacements, a couple newcomers. They threw a random fight on the card like Tuesday, which was very annoying. So yeah, kind of an interesting card here. But yeah, looking forward to breaking it down. As always, we'll talk some weigh-ins. We'll talk and see where these lines have kind of moved throughout the week. We'll talk about some betting. For me personally, I think this is a very sketchy card. I think there are a lot of fights where, they're close fights. They can go either way. We have people, very confident on one side or the other. But yeah, I think a lot of these fights are very, very tough to call. So I think I only have like maybe 4 bets thus far. I'm looking to maybe add like a parlay, but I'm keeping it short and sweet this week. Had a solid week last week. Don't want to give all the profit back from last week. So keeping it nice, short and sweet this week. Liking next week better already. Back in the Apex next week. And then we have UFC 313 coming up in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's gonna be a light week for me, which is always fine because this card is kind of sketching me out. So but yeah, looking forward to being here on a Friday. Just got back from Columbus. It was my dad's retirement ceremony, so we drove to Columbus and drove back, which is a absolute hike. So I was on the road most of the day, but wanted to come on here and talk some fights with you guys. What is up, everybody in the chat? Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe. We'll be going live tomorrow for best bet. When do these fights kick off tomorrow? I think I saw 4 Eastern, and if that's the case, we'll go live. We'll go live 2 or 3. So the fights start what? At 6? There's no way. I guess they start at 6 Eastern. So we'll go live at 4 then. So kind of a later start time for a fight night card. All right, what is up? Evan in the chat saying, what's good 9-inch Brady? I've been called a lot of things. But one thing I've never been called is 9-inch Brady. So that's a new one. Matt saying late. I don't think I was late, man. I think I started right at 8:15. I think I was on time. We got a Sped MMA enjoyer in the building. What is up? We got the High Owl in the building. What is up? Antonio saying, yo, Antonio, what's good? There will be blood. What's good? Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't do it. I don't like it. I gotta fix that. Brady's nice. I don't want to say I was early. I want to say I was on time. Ready to give him the pipe. Hopefully, I give the pipe to the bookies tomorrow. But like I said, I don't have much action on this card. So jamming out to Hawaiian music. I see Bray. I don't know what that was, but I prefer the old music. Matt Schnell's coming back against Jimmy Flick in April. Yeah, awesome fight. If I was a matchmaker, I would put together that fight as well. I think it's a really, really fun scrap there. Let's see. Nikolai Veretennikov looked much more confident in the face-offs. Trippy weigh-ins, 13 fighters at or under the championship weight, 2 catch weights. Yeah, it was. It's a trippy card, man. It's a very trippy card, really sketchy card. So I'm treading lightly, but we'll see what happens, man. We got real 5 picks. What's good? This may be the beer talking, but I love you, Brady. I really do appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And is this going to be a banger card? I think it will be. I think it'll be a fun card. From a fan standpoint. I wouldn't be, paying money to go to this card personally, but as in terms of like watching it at home, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it at home. Julius Walker is the dog of the year. Menifield looked terrible today. What I will say is Menifield looks the worst he's ever had his entire career. He's now 37, so you may be onto something, David. I don't have any action on that fight, and I'm glad I don't. Brady showing off his hairline before the steroids take it away. I hope not, man. Who's the piped on-site pick of the week this week? It's Gene Silva. Gene Silva is going to pipe up Melsik Baghdasaryan, preferably in round 2 or round 3. All right, guys. I say we get into it. Going to try to keep this around 45 minutes so I get out of here before Narcos show starts at 9 Eastern. And we're going to kick it off with Modestas Bukauskas going against Rafael Cerqueira. And yeah, let's see where these odds are at, guys. Modestas Bukauskas is currently sitting at minus 260. Rafael Cerqueira is sitting at plus 220. So when I did my show Sunday with Wheezy, Cerqueira was sitting at plus 305. Modestas is like minus 330. And I'm looking at this fight, and it's like Modestas Bukauskas. I just don't think he should be minus 300 against anybody. Like, I don't recall a fight where he's ever looked minus 300 ever. So I get why he's the favorite. Like, Cerqueira is a complete unknown. There's literally no tape on this guy whatsoever outside of the Aslan fight, which was a horrible look. And then another fight that I saw, which he got a knockout against some bum. Yeah, there's not a lot of tape on the guy, right? So it's a lot of narrative based. But what I do know for a fact is Modestas is just not a minus 300 type fighter. He's going to go out there. He's going to fight close with guys like Zach Palga. He went life and death with No Chin, Marcin Prachnio. So I just really struggle to see how Bukauskas looks anywhere near minus 300, right? On the flip side, like I said, Cerqueira, complete unknown. I hope not. Let me see. Let me double check. Should be good. It should be good. But yeah, geez, I have a bet on this fight. You know, this is the 1-800 gambler fight of the week, even fight of the year. But I have a bet on this fight. I'm fading Bukauskas here. I'm fading that chin. I'm fading that durability. And I played the Cerqueira round 1, round 2 at plus 480 for a half a unit. Also didn't mind the Cerqueira money line at like plus 300 as well. It's came down quite a bit just because Modestas, he shouldn't be this big of a favorite, literally against anybody ever. So if Modestas does win, I kind of see it being, could look a little bit, I think, like the William Knight, Marcin Prachnio fight where Modestas is just doing a little bit more over 15. I just struggle to see how Modestas looks minus 300. Like even Ivo Aslan landed 28 strikes against Cerqueira. He still didn't fall down. I don't think Modestas has ever landed 28 strikes in an entire fight ever. So I like Cerqueira, kind of. I really don't like this fight, but it's Cerqueira or pass for me. What are you guys liking for this absolute dumpster fire? And somebody got mad at me this week for calling this fight a dumpster fire. But like, what else is it? It's literally a dumpster fire. I don't know what else to say. So yeah, don't lay minus 300 on Modestas Bukauskas, for the love of God. And even like the props on Modestas, they're awful. They're horrible. His KO prop is minus money. This dude couldn't KO Zach Palga, Marcin Prachnio. So yeah, it's an absolute mess. Mike is good. Love to hear it. Smash that like. Yeah, I agree. Smash it. Let's pipe up the like button, guys. Bukauskas, Ruziboev, value parlay. I think that's an awful parlay, to be honest. It might hit, but I hate both those legs. I think both can very well lose the fight. I would not bet on either of those guys. I think there's better options, man. Like I said, it could hit, but I couldn't lay minus money on either of those fighters. Ooh, greasy split. It could be a greasy split. That's the thing, man. Like, Cerqueira could knock out Bukauskas. Cerqueira could win by sub. If this fight goes to decision, who's to say it's not a close Modestas Bukauskas type fight? So yeah, I mean it's on the table. Oh, good. I thought you were being serious, dude. You almost made me have a stroke. So good. Glad we got that out of the way. Took Bukauskas in a two-teamer with Nerd to win. Cerqueira got smoked. I mean, Aslan would finish Bukauskas in 30 seconds as well, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll see, guys. I mean, Modestas, I just really could he win? Yeah. Is he going to look minus 300? I'd be shocked if he did. Any nice dogs you're on this weekend? Yeah, there's a couple dogs that are sticking out. Cerqueira, I think, is a very live dog. And I know a lot of people are on Vanderford, Fawn. There's like a couple of dogs people are on this week. Ruziboev is the best fighter in the world. Oh, boy. All right. Speaking of Nursultan Ruziboev, he is taking on Eric Mcconico. Another sketchy fight. Ruziboev opened up minus 350. He's currently minus 280. Mcconico is currently sitting at plus 240. And here's how I'm seeing this fight. Looking at this fight as a minute winner versus moment winner fight. The minute winner is going to be Mcconico, right? He's going to be throwing more volume in this matchup. If he wants to get takedowns, he will be able to get takedowns. They'll be free. Ruziboev cannot stuff a takedown. I'm not talking about against Joaquin Buckley. I'm talking about you go watch any Ruziboev fight outside the UFC. He's getting taken down by a gust of wind. He wants to be on his back. So yeah, Mcconico has a lot of paths here to win, honestly, right? Like on the feet, he's going to be higher volume. And then on the ground, he can easily win minutes with the wrestling. So with that said, though, I do worry about the durability of Mcconico. I think this guy, chin's questionable. Has been knocked out in both of his losses. Both came, I believe, in the first round. Ruziboev's long, rangy, big, has power. So I think a Ruziboev first, second round knockout is very much in play. But if this fight goes the distance and Mcconico's durability holds up, I can see Mcconico winning a decision. So a spot that I looked at this week was Mcconico decision only, which means if the fight finishes, the bet voids. And if the fight goes to decision, obviously you're betting that. And they have it like Mcconico decision only, like minus 125, right? And that just goes to show you that, yeah, if this fight goes the distance, this guy probably is winning the fight. So if you're on the Ruziboev side, I think, maybe looking at the first or second round knockout props, I think that's how he wins. KO 1-2. But these Mcconico like decision, round 3 decision, those props are juicy, man, to be honest. Like if his durability holds up, I think he's winning this fight. So I did take a half unit shot on Mcconico round 3 or decision at plus 500. And yeah, like I said, if the durability holds up, I think that's hitting. But I do think he probably gets knocked out early, but we'll see. I think Mcconico's a very, very live dog this week. Very live dog. So yeah, I'm on that Mcconico round 3 decision. Mcconico decision, I saw like plus 700 this week. I think there's a lot of value on both those lines there. Silva, Hernandez, Yadong, parlay. I like Silva a lot. I like Yadong a lot. Hernandez, I think should win as well. I have a strange feeling about that fight personally, but I think that parlay cashes. Andre Fili's gonna spark Costa. We'll see, man. We'll see. Nursultan inside the distance. Yeah, I think if you're going to take Nursultan, you take him inside the distance. This guy's not winning decisions. I think he's like 2-7 in decisions, right? So yeah, if you like Nursultan, never like his inside the distance is like minus 230, minus 185. So they're not giving you much. Fought money line. Dude is a dog. Mcconico got KO'd by, that, like I said, that's the worry, man. That's why I'm picking Nursultan by KO 1. But if that durability does hold up, I think he's very live to win this fight. All right, let's move on to this next fight. I'm going to quickly gloss over this fight. They added this fight like Tuesday. I did all my research Saturday, Sunday, Monday, got my prediction video out Monday, and then they add this fight the next day, which is so annoying. But yeah, this is a fight where looks like everybody's on Austin Vanderford. Where is this line now? I think it flipped, right? No, it's a straight pick 'em. Veretennikov opened up minus 130, and he was hanging around. No, he was Veretennikov was hanging around like minus 180. I thought, yeah, like minus 150, minus 155. Now it's a straight pick 'em. And I think it should be a straight pick 'em, right? Like this fight's weird. Veretennikov, he was supposed to fight Billy Goff. Veretennikov pulled out of the Billy Goff fight. Billy Goff gets a new opponent. His opponent pulls out. And then all of a sudden, Vanderford steps in and fights. Like it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I'm not sure what is going on the Veretennikov side. It literally makes, how do you pull out of a fight and then still fight, but with a different opponent? I don't get that. And then with Vanderford, like what's he been up to? Like he's taken this fight on very short notice. With Veretennikov, at least this guy's had a camp. So I don't know. I mean, this fight it sketches me out very badly. A lot of people are betting on this fight. I wouldn't personally, with all the circumstances, like a ton of red flags on both sides. But yeah, a pick'em seems accurate, right? Like if Austin Vanderford can get the wrestling going, get on top, win minutes, probably wins the fight. If Austin Vanderford can't get takedowns, can't get on top, and is forced to strike with Veretennikov probably takes his head off. So I don't know. I guess I lean Veretennikov. I think he's very good. I think people are really underrating Veretennikov, but Austin Vanderford very well does have a pass. So I get why people took the plus money on Vanderford. I would look at Veretennikov by knockout. Actually, no, I wouldn't. It's only plus 225. So yeah, I'm passing on this fight. Zero interest in it, but it should be a fun fight. Just weird circumstances surrounding it for sure. We got Font gets beat by Brazilians a lot. It's his kryptonite. We shall see. I rarely make picks off of face-offs, but rarely wrong. Will trust Nikolai Veretennikov. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's a close fight. I think it can go either way. We got my guy Evan in the building. Evan, hopefully, I'm going to hit you up. Maybe you can come on for best bet next week or the week after for UFC 313. That'd be sweet. Shout out to Evan. Let's get Austin versus Cody. Wait, what? I don't know about that. I have to go with Nikolai because of the training camp. Vanderford's coming off the couch. I don't know why Veretennikov pulled out of the Goff fight. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. All right, let's move on to this next fight. We got Javid Basharat going against Ricky Simone. We got Javid Basharat sitting at minus 215. Ricky Simone plus 184. So a lot of money came in on Ricky Simone, huh? Ricky Simone was sitting at plus 270 the 16th, 5 days ago. Currently plus 185. So yeah, somebody dropped a bomb on Ricky Simone. Another fight that kind of sketches me out. So a spot that I think is solid this week, but I'm probably not going to play it because it looks like everybody's on it and it just seems too good to be true, is that Ricky Simone plus 3.5, which means he only has to win one round. It's minus 140. That's kind of the route I would take, but at the same time, I don't know. I just don't like how Simone's looked his last 3 fights. The dude's only 32 years old, so it's not like he should be washed at all, but he kind of has looked washed his last couple fights here. But yeah, I think if the best version of Ricky Simone shows up, at the very least, he makes it competitive, if not outright wins the fight. But I just haven't seen that Ricky Simone, the best version of himself, in quite a long time. So I think Basharat's going to win a decision. I think it's going to be close, competitive. Ricky Simone, his last 3 fights, just hasn't been able to get the wrestling going. With that said, though, he has fought some really good competition. Oliveira, Song Yadong, Mario Batista. So maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, I slightly lean Javid Basharat. I think he wins a decision. Plus 3.5 on Simone. Makes a lot of sense. But it's also one that I just have a weird feeling about. Like the durability of Simone's always been iffy. You know, getting knocked out by Uriah Faber, that always will haunt me for the rest of my life. And then, like I said, potential decline of Simone as well. So it's a pretty easy pass here, but the pick is going to be Javid Basharat. Ricky is the last man to beat Marab, so got to respect him. Yeah, absolutely got to respect Ricky Simone. He's one of my favorite fighters. It's just, geez, he hasn't looked right. He just hasn't looked right in there. So yeah, maybe he's not the same fighter. If this was like 2020, 2019 Ricky Simone, I'd be betting him all day, every day. But I don't know. Seems like people are discounting Ricky's Frieson's fights too much. Yeah, for me personally, it's just I bet on Ricky Simone against I think Oliveira, and just I was like, I'm never betting on this guy again. Like, what are you doing, Ricky Simone? What are you doing in there? And that's his last 3 fights against Mario Batista. You're like, what are you doing, Ricky Simone? What are you doing out there? So I don't know. I can't put any money on Simone. I don't think, not until he shows me that he's not on his way out, and that he's not declining heavily. So, and he shouldn't be. Like I said, he's only 32. So I think this fight's going to tell us a lot about Ricky Simone. And this is borderline a must-win for him. Like if he loses this fight, it's going to be 4 in a row. We got Justin with the $4.99. Appreciate you, Justin, with the super sticker. He says, let's get after it. Blessed you and Weeze. Thank you so much, Justin. Very kind. Always support and appreciate you so much. Best of luck tomorrow with the fights, man. Played the over 2.5 here with Font. Fight over 2.5 as a 2-teamer. I like that. I like it. We got Uncle Weezy in the building saying, oi. Oi. Yeah, me and Weezy are going head-to-head this week with Modestus Bukauskas, Rafael Cerqueira. We should have done like a bet or something. Weezy's 1-0 on bets between me and him this year. He got me on the Hamdi Abdul-Wahab fight. I picked, who the hell did he fight? He picked Hamdi. I picked Jamal Pogues. Jamal Pogues won the fight. The judges gave it to Hamdi, and now I have to do all the steroids. So Weezy's 1-0 on me. So we'll have to get another bet going. I'm not sure I want to do it on the Cerqueira fight, though, to be honest. So we'll get one going. What is up, Wheezy? Brady, did all the steroids make your head grow and your hats won't fit? Do steroids do that? I don't know. Played Simone, money line. His last 3 fights were tough losses. Yeah, can't argue that, man. Can't argue that. Brendan Allen by split is plus 1,400. Seems like his most likely win route. It could be a split or maybe catching. I think it'd be either a split or like catching Fluffy early if he was to win. Top 3 live dogs. A couple dogs that I liked are now like not dogs anymore. Like Costa, when I taped the fight Sunday, he was a dog. Now he's a slight favorite. I think Iwan Cutelaba is very live as an underdog. I think Julius Walker's kind of live. I don't know. I didn't like how Menifield looked at the weigh-ins. He just looked the worst he's ever had in his entire career, and Walker's kind of an unknown. Rob Font's a live dog. I think Cerqueira is a live dog just because he's going against Bukauskas. Mcconico's a live dog. I think we got a lot of live dogs this week. The only dogs I don't think are live is like Nick Klein. I don't think Melsik's that live. I don't really think Allen's that live, and I don't really like Cejudo either. But I think other than that, like we do have some. I think some dogs are going to bark this week. Yeah, man, totally not a fair bet. Bukauskas is minus 270. Yeah, so you'd have to do something crazy. Yeah, we'll figure one out. It's got to be like a heavyweight fight. Maybe we got to get Parker Porter back in the UFC and come up with something. Allen by sub is plus 1,300. It is nuts. Got to sprinkle that. He'll go for him. That's for dang sure. He'll go for him. I already have a plus 700 ticket on Klein. We go to the same gym, so I got to back my boy. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Might even take a look at the sub, right? The sub I saw was like plus 1,600. The Stat Diggers parlay this week is the under 1.5 in the Menifield fight, parlayed with the Fluffy Hernandez money line, which is plus money. All right. And for saying, Brady, I've been following you for over 2 years now. I just want to say that you're an incredible person and amazing at analyzing UFC fights. Appreciate that for us. I try to be the best person possible. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard to be the best person out there, but I try my best, and that's all you can ever ask for. Dang, Brady, you don't think Nick can make him competitive? No, man. No, it's a tough matchup for him, dude. It's a very tough. Man, Sir Abdul-Malik's a scary guy. A very scary guy. But I'm glad that your boy's getting a chance in the UFC. He's going to take this fight and get a couple more and hopefully get some more favorable matchups going forward. All right. Let's move on to this next fight. Sir Abdul-Malik going against Nick Klein. So I don't have a bet on this fight yet, but I'm thinking about just parlaying either the under 1.5 or the fight won't start round 3. I think that this fight finishes within the first 7.5 minutes to 10 minutes at a very high clip. Sir Abdul-Malik has a ton of power on the feet. He has a vicious ground and pound. And obviously, if Klein was to pull off the big upset, it would be like an early type submission thing. So I think it's going to be a car crash. I think it's going to be an absolute car crash. I think it's going to be a hectic pace. And I see this fight finishing early on. So yeah, outside of parlaying up the under, that's really the only way I can attack this. Abdul-Malik is minus 1,500. 1,500 at this point. Minus 1,500, which makes him one of the biggest favorites in UFC history. Yikes. So yeah, minus 1,500 for Sir Abdul-Malik. Nick Klein is plus 850. I like that under. I think the under is solid. I think the fight won't start round 3 is solid. But yeah, all these Mansur props are terrible. Like Mansur KO is minus 250. Mansur in round 1 is minus 165. I don't think I've ever seen a round 1 prop at minus 165. So yeah, these are wild. These are wild. But yeah, give me the under. I think somebody's getting served here. Malik is scary. Yeah, he's a scary dude. He's a scary dude. I've seen this movie before. Same. We've seen a bunch of minus 1,000 favorites lose, man. We've seen it. He's no lock. He's no lock. Might as well bet on Klein. Isn't he undefeated? Total disrespect. Yeah, Klein He's not bad. He does have one loss. It did come by knockout. But yeah, Klein's not bad, man. He's a solid grappler. I think he'll win some fights in the UFC. It's just this is it's a tough matchup. It certainly is a tough matchup. But yeah, those odds are wild. Yep. Klein by sub, man. I mean, I think that's his win condition. I think I saw it like plus 1600. I am Answer Abdul-Malik's cousin. I've told him to shout out DFS by the numbers once he pipes Klein. Tune in. You're joking. Syed Malik? There's no way. That if so, that would be legendary. Syed Malik. Well, I'll be listening. I'll be listening. That would absolutely make my day, dude. Who's going to score better on DK? So I think like with Mansour, he's probably going to get a quick finish, right? Put up 100 so. But with Gene Silva, I think the fight's going to get drawn out a little bit. Maybe land some takedowns, get some knockdowns, maybe get a second or third round finish. I think it'll be close. Silva, I'll say Malik scores more, but he also is like a couple hundred more on DraftKings. I think both are good plays this week. All right. Let us move on to this next fight. It is Ibo Aslan going against Ion Cutelaba. Fun fight here. Very fun fight here. It's an Ion Cutelaba fight, which means I'm looking forward to it, which means it's going to be exciting. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be something crazy is going to happen in it, right? Man, this line's kind of gotten blown out throughout the week. Ibo Aslan is now minus 180. Ion Cutelaba plus 155. I like some type of violence here. I'm thinking about parlaying up the fight. Doesn't go to decision around minus 350, minus 400. Just because I really struggle to see this going the distance, right? Like Ibo Aslan, 15 fights, never seen the scorecards. And how I'm seeing this fight play out stylistically, it's like whoever wins this fight, I think is going to look like a big favorite. If it turns out Ibo Aslan is able to stuff the takedowns of Ion Cutelaba, he's probably going to take off Cutelaba's head. If Cutelaba is able to take down Ibo Aslan, he's probably going to destroy him on the ground. So I think violence is the best way to go. I would not be laying minus 180 on Ibo Aslan, guys. I just wouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think whoever wins this fight is going to look like a big favorite. So I love violence here. I think violence is a great parlay piece, and I'll be probably parlaying that up in my violence parlay this week. So yeah, these props are pretty awful. Aslan inside the distance, minus 135. Aslan by KO, minus 125. The Cutelaba finish props, they're not bad, but I just like some type of violence. I think somebody's getting served here and getting served very, very brutally. I think somebody's getting piped. Somebody's getting piped in this fight. Guys, give an onside piping to the like button. Yes, onside pipe it, man. Onside pipe it. Where is that dude? I forget his name. Call me crazy, but I think Ion wins a decision. It could happen. Like if somebody's going to win a decision, it's going to be Cutelaba, and it would be kind of like the Devin Clark fight where he beat the crap out of Devin Clark, busted his teeth in the fight, somehow went the distance. It could look like that. Nick Line's father, and he told me there's zero chance he loses. Bet the house. Oh boy, what's up, Blum Dog? No, I think you're talking about maybe the Turcali. His last fight was against Cerqueira, I believe. I think you're talking about this the Turcali fight, and it was not really that competitive, to be honest. I mean, Turcali was kind of hanging in there, but Turcali was kind of just eating shots and eventually got knocked out. What's good, Andy? Piped, yes. Somebody's getting piped, man. Iwan is a former meth head. I did not know that. Ibo is a former steroid monkey, so meth versus steroids. Okay. Cutelaba did meth. I did not know that. Great insight there. Great insight. Yeah, I mean, it's always tough to trust Cutelaba. It's always been tough to trust him. Definitely targeting Aslan Cutelaba on DraftKings. I think it's a great idea. 100%. All right, let's move on to this next fight. We got Andre Fili going against Mel Costa. And yeah, I'm kind of annoyed. So when I taped this fight on like Sunday, Mel Costa was the dog, and I went on Twitter and like everybody was betting Fili, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll can just wait it out and get a better line on Costa, but that was not the case whatsoever. Costa went to like minus 120, and it's been there ever since. I'm fine with passing. Last week, I bet a pick'em fight. I bet Angela Hill against Ketlin Souza. I was on the right side. I won the bet, but it was a pick'em. It was a pick'em type fight. It played out very closely. It could have went to Ketlin Souza, and I think that's going to be the case here. I think it's going to be a very close and competitive fight. I think these two are very well matched, and I think this has potential to be fight of the night. I think these two are going to go out there. They're going to swing dicks. I do lead with Mel Costa. He's the younger guy. I think he's the more durable guy at this point. He can grapple a little bit, and I like his striking. I like the volume. I like how he mixes it up to the head, to the legs, to the body. Andre Fili's taken a lot of damage lately, so I do lean Costa, but I just don't think there's a ton of meat on the bone laying a minus number next to his name. So I'm going to be sitting back and watching this one. The picks Costa. Should be a very fun fight, though. Very fun fight. Fili is one of those, inconsistent guys. Like, he's 24 and 11. Sometimes he looks good. Sometimes he doesn't. 34 years old at this point. He's taken a lot of damage, a lot of wars. So I like Costa to win, but not running to the window for it. Swinging dicks until somebody gets... I don't know if anybody gets piped in this fight per se, but I think there's a couple fights on this card where somebody's getting piped. I think somebody's getting piped in the Abdul-Malik, Nick Klein fight. I think somebody's getting piped in the Melsik Baghdasaryan, Gene Silva fight. Somebody's getting piped in the Cutelaba fight. Somebody's getting piped in the Menifield fight. I think there's going to be a lot of pipings come Saturday. So, yeah, nothing on that one there. Moving on to the next fight. We got Alonzo Menifield going against Julius Walker. Where is this line at now? Menifield is now a minus 240 favorite. Julius Walker is now plus 205. And, yeah, Menifield's a guy you just really never want to lay minus 240 on. Like, especially now at 37 years old, coming off of really questionable performances. And it's not that he lost to Carlos Olberg and Murzakanov. It's just kind of how he lost to those guys. Stylistically, I love this matchup for Menifield. Julius Walker, you watch all his fights, he's going out there and getting all of his opponents to the mat. I'm not sure that's going to be on the table here. But, yeah, man, I don't know. Minus 240. Like, Menifield, he's 37. Back-to-back terrible losses. Looked off at weigh-ins today. Just we've never seen Menifield look that soft at weigh-ins. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I would assume it's a bad thing. So this fight definitely sketches me out. What I don't mind here is like an under. The only thing that scares me is I do think that there can be some clinching here, potential clinch fest. I think Walker's going to try to get this fight down to the ground. So I feel like a lot of minutes can burn just against the cage. That'd be the only concern. But yeah, I think the unders is solid. When Walker's winning fights, they typically come under 1.5 rounds. When Menifield's winning fights, they typically come under 1.5 rounds. So I'm going to monitor this total. Right now, the under's at minus 105. If I can get the under at plus money, I might jump in. Yeah, under. If I can get them under at like plus money, I think I might jump in there. I don't mind the under. From a money line standpoint. I couldn't lay minus 240 on Menifield, so couldn't do it. But yeah, I think somebody's getting piped on site in this one. Fawn is going to get piped, guys. Unfortunately, nobody's ever piped Font though. I don't know. Matsumoto would be the first one. Minus 200. Minifield's been getting slept in record time lately. No, thank you. Especially seeing him today, I can't lay that price tag on Menifield. I'm going with Julius Walker to pull off the upset. Yeah, Julius Walker, the dude's big for the division. He can wrestle. I think he'll win some fights for sure at the light heavyweight division. Only 25 years old. I think it's a tough matchup for him, but if Menifield's showing up either compromised or, unmotivated, like, yeah, Walker could absolutely win this fight. We'll see. Murzakanov was landing brutal shots on Menifield. Yeah, that's Murzakanov, though. Murzakanov's a very high-level striker. I know he lies about his age. Murzakanov's actually 60 years old, not a 30-year-old man. He's 60, but he's a very good fighter. I have Menifield shaving ass. Too big of a step in competition for Walker. Yeah, I'm picking Menifield by first-round knockout. I do think it'll be a shaving, but a little sketched out about this spot. But yeah, stylistically, I love the matchup for Menifield. So let's see if Menifield can shave some ass. Any fight finishing in less than 60 seconds. I mean, Mansur Abdul-Malik maybe, but the odds are probably horrible. I would not bet that. But I'd say Mansur Abdul-Malik is absolutely capable of finishing a fight in less than 60 seconds. Walk around one only, plus 275. Yeah, the most of his wins do come in the first round. True Easy Walker's been beating bus drivers. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen who Julius Walker was supposed to take on, he's supposed to take on somebody coming up maybe this weekend or the next. It was like 3-4. Just an awful look. So he has taken a gigantic step of a competition, and it could be a little too soon for the dude. Malik KO, Gene Silva, Fluffy Parlay will feed families. I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it. Did you see Allen downplaying DDP's wins? I did. DDP's wins are fine, man. Allen's wins, if anything, you can downplay those. So I don't get what he's talking about. And then Allen showed up with one of the weirdest hairstyles I've seen in some time. He went with the blonde, like the shoot the box hairstyle, didn't he today? I don't know what he's doing. Oh yeah, Mark Courier, the definition of a can. So we'll see, man. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. It is Gene Silva going against Melsik Baghdasaryan. I do have a couple bets here. So I think the over 1.5 is a solid look. Let's see where that's at. Over 1.5, minus 180, minus 175. But I do think Gene Silva is going to pipe up Melsik. But I do think it's gonna take a while, right? It's gonna take like a round and a half, because Melsik is a very good fighter, good fighter, good kickboxer. But what I worry about with Melsik in this matchup is a couple things. So he's coming off a little bit of a layoff, about a year and a half, coming off of a torn labrum. And this is a guy in Melsik who we see in multiple fights slow down drastically. He slowed down really bad against Dennis Bazukia on the Contender Series. It was a horrible look. We saw him get club and subbed instantly by Josh Cutelaba. It was a horrible look. I worry about Melsik's grappling. I worry about Melsik's cardio. I worry about Melsik's heart when the fight gets extended. So I think early on, it's going to look very competitive. I think Melsik maybe even gets the better of Gene in the first 5 minutes. But as the fight goes on, I think the pressure, the pace, the craziness, the power, the grappling of Gene Silva is all going to get to Melsik. And I see Gene Silva cooking him and breaking him and finishing him in the second or third round. So I have a half unit each on Gene Silva round 2 and round 3 props. They're not the best numbers, but that's kind of how I'm seeing it play out. Round 2 is like plus 430. I got it at plus 410. And then round 3 is plus 700. So I think it's a Gene Silva round 2-3 finish. I think this gets extended a little bit, but I think Gene Silva ultimately ends up finishing Melsik Baghdasaryan, maybe even by submission. Like if this guy grapples, yeah, he can absolutely submit Melsik here. Does Allen think Jacob Malkoun is a good win? I actually don't think that's a bad win, to be honest. But he's had some questionable wins for sure. I think Malkoun's actually decent. What's up, Artem? What does DFS mean? It can mean many things. It mean many things, man. Whatever you want it to mean. No, but it means daily fantasy sports. Because I used to do a bunch of different sports. I used to do NFL, PGA, NASCAR, but now I'm just doing UFC. All right. We got Big Steve's biggest fan in the building. What is up? Silva by sub plus 650. If he wants it, he can get it. But I feel like he wants to knock him out. Yes, sir. All right. Keep moving on. We got Gene Matsumoto going against Rob Font. We got Matsumoto minus 170, Rob Font plus 145. Another short notice replacement here. Rob Font was supposed to fight Dominic Cruz. In steps Gene Matsumoto. And yeah, I kind of went back and forth on this one, taping this fight. I do think that Rob Font is a very live dog this week. Like if this fight stays standing for 15 minutes, as long as Font's durability holds up, I feel like he can just jab off Matsumoto's face for the duration of the fight. The thing that worries me about Font is the takedown defense in the ground game. Font was preparing for a fighter in Dominic Cruz, who obviously is not going to look to get the fight down to the mat. And Gene Matsumoto, although I don't think is the best wrestler in the world, he is a BJJ black belt. And once he does get the fight down to the ground, he's pretty good down there. So if Matsumoto does come in here with the game plan of, getting the fight down to the ground, I feel like he has a good chance to win this fight, right? Font's takedown defense, not great, 44%. So although Matsumoto can't wrestle the greatest, I don't think he needs to wrestle the greatest. And we just seen some, Font off his back. It hasn't looked great. The Corey Sandhagen fight, laying on his back for 25 minutes. Kyler Phillips dominated him until he gassed out in 5 minutes. I think Matsumoto has potential to get, mixing the takedowns. I don't think he's going to submit Rob Font, nothing like that, but just mixing the takedowns, get some control on the feet. It should be competitive. So I like Matsumoto to win, but I think the line is either accurate or maybe even a tad too wide here, to be honest. So I think the line's fine. If a little bit too wide at this point. So the pick's Matsumoto, no prop sticking out. I think this fight goes the distance. I've been waiting for somebody to finish Rob Font for a long time now. It hasn't happened. This guy seems to be unfinishable, even though he'll do the chicken dance 5 times a fight. So yeah, Matsumoto's a pick, but nothing really sticking out. Rob Font takes this. Yeah, I think he could. If he can keep this fight standing, I think he absolutely could take this. Malik inside the distance. Basharat, Ruziboev, Aslan, Menifield fight finishes. Silva, Matsumoto, Fluffy, Yadong. Hail Mary parlay thoughts. Hail Mary, lots of legs. I like most. The only one I wouldn't parlay, to be honest, would be really Ruziboev. I wouldn't parlay Ruziboev, and then I also would maybe take the under, or the fight won't start round 3 in the Aslan Cutelaba fight instead of the Aslan money line. I think it's the same price, and you can cover kind of both sides there. Because I think if Aslan's winning, it's a first or second round knockout. Remember the NASCAR? Yeah, NASCAR's fun, man. I won like $700 on the race last week. It was awesome. Didn't even do any research either. Matsumoto by sub plus 650. Font only loss. Sub loss is guillotine. That is true. That is true. It could happen, man. Like Matsumoto has a good guillotine. Played the over 2.5. Yeah, I think this goes over. Calvin Cater's the most unfinishable. Some guys are just unfinishable. Marlon Vera is one of them. All right, let's keep moving on. Anthony Hernandez going against Brendan Allen. Co-main event. I wish this was 5 rounds, but unfortunately we are getting 3. I don't know. I mean, Anthony Hernandez minus 330. Brendan Allen plus 270. I got to pick Hernandez to win. I think that his cardio, the wrestling ability, the scrambling ability, the ability to end up on top, he should be able to win rounds 2 and rounds 3, maybe even round 1. But I don't just have a weird feeling about this fight in the back of my head. Like Allen, I don't want to count out Allen too much. Like seeing Brendan Allen plus 270 against anybody is, it's kind of weird. Like this guy has made so much improvements. I used to be a Brendan Allen hater, but now all of a sudden this guy's a very good striker. He's always been a legit grappler on the ground. And even in their first fight, which was so long ago, and that first round, Allen got into some dominant positions. So, and Fluffy's one of those guys who he will make mistakes in the grappling. He will go out there and just make it chaotic, right? So I don't know. I feel like Fluffy wins. I might look to live bet Fluffy because I have a strong feeling that at the very least this first round is going to be competitive when Allen's fresh. But I just think as the fight goes on, Fluffy should be able to wear on him and ultimately win this fight. So I like Fluffy to win. Minus 330. I can't get there, but I'm going to look to maybe live bet Fluffy. This should have been the main event. I agree. And I also agree with this. I feel like it's wide, dude. I feel like it's a wide line, but I can't pick against Fluffy again against anybody, really. I'm not picking against Fluffy anytime soon, I don't think. What do you guys think about Allen by sub? I think Fluffy wins, but at 1,100 plus 1,100 on some books, 15-minute grapple fest, the opportunities will be there, in my opinion. Yeah. So I think Allen by sub or fight ends by sub, they're bets that will look value. I don't know if they'll hit, but at the very least, Allen's going to be going out there, attempting some submissions. Fluffy always attempts like 5 submissions a fight, right? So I think fight ends by sub is going to be one of the, the value losers of this week. I think they're both going to attempt a lot of submissions. And And you just brought it up. Yeah, I think that's a great look. I think it's a great number. I think there's going to be a lot of value on it. I'm not sure if it hits, though. But, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Allen doesn't have the... No, he don't. He don't. He does not have the best fight IQ. Do you think Patty versus Chandler goes the full 5 rounds? Gaethje and Hooker, 5 rounds too, but that ain't going the distance. Oh, no, I don't think the Patty Chandler's going 5 rounds at all. I think it's going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy fight. That has potential to be one of the best fights of the year. That Patty Chandler fight, that fight's going to be awesome. I'm going to try my best to get down to Miami and watch that card. That card looks stacked, so I'd be shocked if that fight went 5 rounds. I know Chandler went 5 rounds in his last fight. I'm not sure how, but he did. I think that changes here. Just with the pace that Patty's going to set, both guys are going to set, really. I think it finishes within the first 2, I think. But yeah, that's a great fight. Pfeiffer and Brady train with Ruziboev. Said he trains, all he trains is takedown defense, and he's KOing homeboy. Good. He needs to train takedown defense. But yeah, I think a KO is live for sure. I think Fluffy's and Fuego, but pretty fair value on Allen money line. They appear to be on the same level. It's a wide line. All right, guys, let's get into this main event that I'm going to hop off of here. We got Song Yadong going against Henry Cejudo. And, Song Yadong currently minus 265. Henry Cejudo is plus 225. And I like the Song Yadong side here. Henry Cejudo, at this point, he's 38 years old. He had that 3-year layoff, the 3-year retirement. He comes back. He's 0-2 against great fighters, Marab and Sterling, right? But I don't know. I mean, this is not the same Cejudo of 2019 when he fought Dillashaw, 2019 when he fought Marlon Moraes. Not even the same that fought Dominic Cruz, 2020. He's 38 years old at bantamweight. You don't like to see that, undersized. And Song Yadong, I think is a good matchup for him because on the feet, I like the striking, the volume, the power of Song Yadong, the takedown defense of Song Yadong. I mean, he's improved that leaps and bounds over the course of his career. His takedown defense looks very good. And not only that, like his get-up game is very, very good. So I just struggle to see Cejudo taking down and holding down, especially Song Yadong. I think this fight is going to primarily play out on the feet, and I like the striking of Song Yadong. So I like Song Yadong to win the fight. I think he wins it by decision. I did bet the same game parlay Song Yadong and the over 2.5. It came out to minus 134. I think the Song Yadong 4-5 decision at minus 105 it was. I think that's a good look. I think this fight gets extended. I think it goes the distance. So that's kind of how I'm playing it there. But I like Song Yadong to get this one done. Roman Kopylov is better than Brendan Allen. That'd be a good fight. That'd be a very good fight. Kopylov versus Brendan Allen. I'd like to see that. Maybe we'll see that fight in the future. Do you think JDM beats Bilal? Bilal looks like a Simpsons character. I don't know. No thoughts on that fight. I'm a big JDM fan. But Bilal is always consistently underrated, and he's very good. So I'd have to tape it and look into it more, but I'm excited for it. Might skip this fight. Would feel dumb laying this much juice on Song for him to lose. I feel you, man. I feel you. It's too early for JDM's title shot. Unfortunately, Bilal holds the belt for a minute. We'll see. I can't wait for that fight. That's 315, right? I think that's 315. That should be a fun fight. We got a ton of great fights announced on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to some cards coming up. Henry over 2.5 takedowns is minus 105. I could see that. I don't think he's holding down Song, but I think he could take him down, right? I could see him taking down Song popping back up, going back down again, something like that. I could see that. Favorite underdog. So underdog, my favorite one. Oh, jeez. Oh, my favorite underdog. I don't know, man. For me, I did the stars and scrubs approach, at least for my cash lineup this week. I haven't put together my tournament lineups yet. And maybe I even won't do tournaments this week because it is a tricky week. But for my cash lineup, I did a stars and scrubs approach because I wanted to go up there and get a Gene Silva. I wanted to go up there and get a Fluffy. I wanted to go up there and get some of these guys. I wanted to get Song Yadong, right? So I took a stars and scrubs approach where I took some shots on some of these punt plays. Mcconico. I think Mcconico's in there. Maybe even Cerqueira. I think I might have put both of them in there, to be honest. What else did I put? But yeah, it's kind of a stars and scrubs week for me because I think there's a lot of live dogs, right? I think Julius Walker's a live dog. Rob Font's live. Even Ricky Simone's live. So it's a tricky week on draft. I really struggled this week from a DraftKings perspective. Tough, isn't it? Yeah, same stars and scrubs type week for me. Stars and scrubs. There's a lot of fighters I like up top. Song over 2.5 minus one. Yeah, I got it at minus 134. Minus 160. Yeah, I think that's a great way to play him. Diego Lopez versus Volk. So the funny thing is, there's no way Volk should lose that fight. There's no way Volk should lose to Diego Lopez, but he probably gets knocked out. I'm really worried about Volk's durability at this point. And I would love to see Diego Lopez become champion. I would love it. So I'm probably going to pick Lopez by knockout, even though it makes no sense other than, I don't know, just he probably knocks him out. But yeah, Volk should win, but sometimes that always doesn't happen. Appreciate you as well. Walker's a very dominant fighter. If he can get the fight down to the ground, agreed. If he can get down Menifield, it will look dominant. Why are so many people on Walker? Newcomer, big dude, good wrestler, maybe a fade on Menifield. I don't know. Let's see. Song over 95.5 significant strikes, minus 115. That's not bad. Alex saying, what's up, Brady? Your own question is sports betting and streaming your full-time job, or you also work somewhere else? I have a couple different revenue streams, a couple different things going on. But yeah, mostly YouTube and stuff. Am I insane for thinking Menifield and Walker goes the distance? We've seen Menifield go to the distance before. I think he went the distance with Ed Herman, William Knight. You're not insane at all. We've seen some crazy fights go the distance. All right, guys. Gonna do a quick recap, and then if you guys have any final questions, comments, or concerns, we'll hit those up, and then we'll head out of here. So yeah, light card for me. Hate this card from a betting perspective, but I like Song Yadong. I like the Song Yadong either 4-5 decision. I like the Song Yadong over 2.5 same game parlay. I think this fight goes the distance, and I like Song to get it done on the scorecards. Hernandez Allen, this fight sketches me out. I might look to live bet Hernandez. I can't lay minus 330. I think we're disrespecting Allen a little bit too much here with this line, but ultimately I think Hernandez gets his hand raised, winning the second and third rounds. Matsumoto Font, close fight. I think it all comes down to whether or not Matsumoto proactively grapples. If he does, I think he could look like a decent-sized favorite. If he strikes for 15 minutes, probably even loses the fight. I think Gene Silva finishes Baghdasaryan round 2, round 3. I have those 2-3 props. Menifield Walker, I might look at the under if it gets to plus money, but right now it's a pass. Fili Costa, close fight. Could go their way pass. Ibo Aslan, going to be parlaying up some type of violence. I think fight won't start round 3 or fight doesn't go. Abdul-Malik, I like the under 1.5 or fight won't start round 3 as a parlay piece. Basharat Simone, I think if the Simone plus 3.5 makes a ton of sense, but a lot of people are on it and kind of getting weird vibes with that one. Veretennikov, Vanderford could go either way. Pick'em's accurate. Ruziboev, Mcconico. I think Ruziboev KO 1-2 or Mcconico by decision. And I sprinkled that Mcconico round 3 decision. Bukauskas, Cerqueira, crapshoot. Cerqueira round 1 or round 2 for me at plus 480. But it's not a fight you want to be too invested in. All right. Let's see what we got here. A couple last comments, guys. We got Cody with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Cody, saying great observations as always. Hope we get some more. I think we're gonna have some more. We're gonna have some fun fights tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, appreciate you, Cody. Best of luck to you. Enjoy the fights tomorrow. Thank you so much for the donation. Cutelaba getting the pipe, I think, on site. Somebody's getting piped in that fight, dude. Syed Malik saying, I've been watching you for the last 2 to 3 years. First time I watched you live and commented. Appreciate all the work you have done so far. Appreciate you, Syed. Does mean a lot. How come Dumas didn't fight Ruziboev this time? They did fight. They did fight. Were they supposed to like rematch? I didn't hear that, but yeah, they did fight, and Ruziboev knocked him out with an eye poke. Wondering what you think of the switch up of Sean Brady for Leon. He's trained for wrestlers a lot, which helps, but they're also not his forte. Whereas JDM was thoughts. I should probably come on here and talk about some of these matchups. No thoughts on that one as of now, but do you know which gloves are? Yeah, so John, I don't know if you heard, which it's great news. They announced last card that they are completely done with those trash ass gloves. Never again will they be used. They're done with them, all starting with last week's card. And it's a coincidence that I had a really good week last week. So no more cursed gloves. No more cursed gloves. For now on, we're back to the regular gloves, which means we're going to be getting some violence. Dustin saying, good luck, Big Brady. Appreciate all your hard work. One day I'll win the big one and can bless your channel. And Chris P, my NASCAR guy, do you think Klein can pull off the upset? Appreciate you, Dustin. Yeah, if you like Klein, I think that Klein sub at plus 1600 is worth a little sprinkle. Little sprinkle. Could end very poorly. Could end very poorly, but could be worth a sprinkle. Thanks, Steve Brady. Every time a fight goes the distance, my daughter says, let's see what the crooked corrupt judges think. Hey, the crooked corrupt judges helped me out last week. They gave me Angela Hill. Cashed an Angela Hill bet last week. All right, guys. Best of luck, everybody, for UFC Seattle. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow for best bet. I'm going to be going live either we'll say around 4 Eastern time tomorrow. So you guys, best of luck, and we'll see you soon. Later.